You're not getting the clients, you're not getting the money. It feels like all you're doing is just running your wheels, doing the same thing, and not seeing any new results. Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be to raise the consciousness within in order to create a life and business of ease, flow, and freedom. This podcast offers inspiring stories, strategies, and special guests to help you become your most aligned self. I am 𝗪𝗵𝘁 𝗪𝗲, a former NBA Toronto Raptors dancer turned ICF accredited spiritual life coach, founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, and Star Seed Academy coach training. My soul's mission is to show you the impossible is truly possible. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get to awakening your soul's wisdom. Welcome everybody to another episode of Words of Wisdom. I'm so excited you're here with me, your host, 𝗪𝗵𝘁 𝗪𝗲. Today, I want to talk to you about what to do when you feel defeated and you just want to quit. Have you ever had a time like that where you just want to quit? You're not getting the clients, you're not getting the money. It feels like all you're doing is just running your wheels, doing the same thing, and not seeing any new results. We all have those times. I definitely have had those times multiple times a year. And I notice that happens especially when we stretch into the next level because we're in totally unfamiliar territory, a new experience. So give yourself that space, give yourself that grace, that is normal. And in fact, I look at it as it's because you are on your way. It's because it's happening. It's because you are stretching to new levels, to have those thoughts, to have those feelings. But I want to make it a little easier for you and offer you something to help you get out of those moments of defeat and feeling like you want to quit. One thing that has really helped me during those times, and I'm going to give you some examples too, some stories really. Well, let me start with the story. So I've shared before, I've been a dancer and an actress in my past life. And in that, if anyone knows that industry, rejection upon rejection upon rejection. And I remember just even starting dance. I started when I was technically 14. I mean, I was dancing recreationally before that, but I didn't start professional training until I was 14 when I had the yellow pages flipped through. And you may have heard me say this, and I sound like probably like a grandma just going through back in my day and repeat the same old story. But the yellow pages story, pulled it out, found my dance school, found a part-time job, had to pay for most of my lessons. My parents were like, if you want it, you have to pay for it. And I remember being the worst in the class because everyone else started when they were like 5 or 6 years old. But I can't tell you the amount of times I felt like shit in that class, the amount of times I felt so inferior, like such a loser. The worst one, literally the worst one that like teachers had to try to cover me in the routines and put me in the far back. Or they would just create a whole new part for me because I could do hip hop really well, but I wasn't good at technique like jazz and ballet. So they would give me like a breakdown hip hop piece, which was still pretty cool. And I love that they incorporate that. But the moral of the story is I felt like shit majority of the time taking these dance lessons. I started when I was 14. I kept going. I paid for extra private lessons. I felt like shit for the first 4 years. Well, it continued throughout my dance career, but in my training stage, I felt like crap. So many times I was the worst. Everyone was getting the front of the dance. They were getting awards. They were getting accolades. They were getting moved on to do solos. Everyone was moving on. And I just felt like I was dancing in the same spot. I went to audition for the Toronto Raptors dance package, NBA dance team. And the first year I was too young to make the team. I went anyway, and I just put myself in that because I just wanted to experience what it was like so I could prepare for the next year. Lo and behold, the next year I went, I still wasn't the best in that audition room in front of professionals who've danced on Broadway, who are in movies and music videos, all of that. And I felt like I still felt good and I was proud of myself, but I I was aware I clearly wasn't the best in the room, and there were so many other people who were better than me in technique. And I made the Raptors dance pack, my first professional paying dance job at 18 years old. So it took me 4 years of feeling incredibly like shit, crying to myself, crying to my family, crying to people who didn't even really get it and just give you like, you can do it, that pat on the back. They meant well, but it really wasn't it didn't help me feel better in any way. I just had to keep doing it and going, and I just kept going. And the reason why, and this is my core points for you today, is because I focused on the bigger vision, my bigger mission. I didn't realize my mission later on in life till I became a coach was to show the impossible and to achieve what's available, like anything that's available there. But to show the impossible, for me, that was the impossible. I can tell you how many people who were like shocked that I made the team from my dance training school, even teachers, dance teachers, even friends. I lost friends over that as well. And even people on the dance pack at the time, because, granted, I wasn't the best, I wasn't the strongest, but even throughout my career, 4 or 5 years on the team, there was always the new growth, a new challenge, a new way for me to stretch myself. And I just kept going because I had a greater vision. And in my sweet little mind, I just saw myself performing, and I felt it. I saw it, but I mostly felt it, felt myself performing in an auditorium of thousands of people. And for that at the time was the Air Canada Centre. Now I think it's Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. There are thousands. I think it's like 30,000. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on the number, but about 30,000 per show for a basketball game, on top of being on TV. And then from that, I moved on to movies and music videos, and I had all these incredible opportunities. I went on tour with artists. I was traveling around the world till even grander. Through it all, no matter how shitty I felt at the beginning, in the middle stage, in the growing stage, even there, quote unquote, getting there on stage. Yes, I had moments of feeling proud, and yes, I got it, and yes, I did it, and I made it here. But I found, really, if I reflect on my whole dance career, I felt like crap majority of my time versus proud of myself, which if I can go back and redo, I would talk to myself and do it differently. But this is my hindsight story that I'm sharing with you now. So the point of my story is, when you feel like you want to give up, when you feel like it's time to throw in the towel. If you listen to my last episode, I talk about your why. So go back and listen to that, save it, download it. That's important. But really, this part is about the vision and that feeling. The vision could be what you can visually see, but also I believe like your vision could be what you feel as well. Like I just sensed it. I just felt it. I felt myself in an arena of thousands and thousands of eyes watching me. I felt myself on TV. I also feel myself, and I'm putting this out there, I do know I'm going to be on TV again in some sort of capacity. So, hey, if you're a producer or director and you have an idea, let's talk, because I have an idea too. An inspirational show, and I'm calling it out now. I know it's going to happen. But I have this vision, this feeling vision, this clear feeling vision. That's what I've taught my clients too. You can see it. And if you don't see all the details, that is fine, but you can feel it. Do you sense something bigger and grander for yourself? Do you sense a greater purpose for yourself? Lean into that. Allow that to lead you. Allow that to be enough for this moment. In those moments of defeat and failure and setback, it is enough. Trust me, it is enough, because that is what's got me here. Is what's got me through what I call a successful dance career. I was there up until my 30s, and I just felt called to do something else. And this is where I'm at with spiritual life coaching. I have a school now. I have incredible clients. I have private clients. I have my group programs, my masterminds. I have digital products. I've been asked to be in a magazine. I know I'm going to be on TV again. My income keeps growing. My freedom keeps expanding. More and more becomes available to me because I keep choosing it and because I feel it. And it always started with a big vision. So anytime I'm feeling defeated, every time there's a setback, every time I feel like a failure, you know how many launches I've had that was total crickets? And yes, I wanted to be like, what am I doing wrong? I probably did say that. What more do I need to do? I have to do. I went through all those questions. I went through all those doubts. I went through all those feelings of feeling like, oh my God, did I lose my groove? I have failed in so many ways. I have said the wrong thing, perhaps to clients, to friends, to jobs. I got fired from jobs. I've had embarrassing moments that I didn't think I could recover from, on TV, on live stage, in personal relationships. There's so many moments I'm just listing out where I felt like, oh my God, like it makes your stomach turn and you're like, I can't recover from this. Like this means so much. But when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the bigger vision, that's what's going to get you through, because this is just going to be a little blip along the way. And when you look back and you zoom out and look at your life, that low month, that client canceling, that failed launch, getting fired from a job, not having enough in the bank account, whatever it is nothing compared to your bigger vision. Your vision, your mission is greater than any failure and setback you will ever experience. That feels complete, don't you think? So I'm going to leave that with you. Focus on the big vision and not the short-term vision of the client, of getting that goal, getting that hit, a certain amount of money. Whatever it is that you're aiming for, focus on the bigger vision of your life than the short-term vision. I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you soon.